What powerful hormone do all humans need in order to effectively use and transcribe their DNA, yet we barely consume enough to avoid disease, let alone to thrive? Previously, we've talked about phytonutrients and epigenetics, how plant compounds can literally turn on and off genetic expression. Well, these plant signals are directly used by one of the most powerful genetic regulators in the human body, vitamin D. But vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. It's synthesized or produced in the skin. It directly binds to nuclear receptors in your cells and multiple different types of organs in your body. And it directly influences genetic transcription. Over 1,000 genes are regulated by vitamin D signaling. This means immune genes, inflammatory genes, cancer surveillance genes, neurotransmitter genes, insulin sensitivity genes, bone metabolism genes. This is not a supplement. This is a master regulator that's essential for human DNA transcription. Human biology was built in sunlight. Modern day life is built indoors. Office buildings, cars, clothes, sunscreens, glass. We have engineered vitamin D into daily life. This is not lifestyle opinion. This is a biological mismatch. I'm pretty sure you know that vitamin D helps with calcium absorption, but did you know that it doesn't tell this calcium where to go? That's the job of vitamin K2. It activates proteins like osteocalcin, which drive calcium into the bones. It also activates matrix GLA protein, which tells the body to keep calcium away from arteries and soft tissues. Without K, your body can have calcium deposited in the wrong places. Tissues can calcify, arteries can stiffen, bone structures can weaken. That's why vitamin D without K is incomplete physiology and poor formulation strategy. Vitamin D tells the body absorb, it's the signal. Vitamin K is like the traffic controller. It tells the calcium, here's where you go. That's why one without the other is biological chaos, but together they form organized function. Vitamin D is one of the most important immune modulators in the human body. It doesn't just stimulate immunity, it actually helps balance and keep it stable. This means that it helps with pathogen defense, it helps regulate autoimmune aggression, it mitigates inflammatory overreaction, and it can improve your immune tolerance. This is why low vitamin D status is associated with autoimmune conditions, chronic infection, inflammatory disorders, because the immune system is not being regulated. It's being left unsupervised. And an unsupervised immune system could be dangerously destructive. Did you know that your brain is loaded with receptors specifically for vitamin D? This hormone helps with serotonin synthesis, dopamine regulation, neuroprotection, neuroinflammatory control, cognitive processes and performance. That's why low vitamin D is associated with brain fog, depression, cognitive decline. Again, not because D is an antidepressant, but because it's part of the neurological regulatory system. Vitamin D also has very unique communications with different hormones: insulin sensitivity, testosterone production, estrogen balance, thyroid receptor sensitivity. Low vitamin D equals poor hormonal communication, and poor hormone communication equals fatigue, weight gain, mood irregularities, low drive, poor recovery. That's why I often say that hormone problems aren't gland problems, they're signal problems. Bones aren't just storage containers, they're live endocrine organs that communicate very well with your brain, your immune system, and help many different metabolic processes throughout your body. Weak bones aren't just a fracture risk, they're a signal of systemic dysregulation. That's why we created DK Prime, not for mood, not for immunity, for regulation. DK Prime exists to restore hormonal signaling, to regulate immune behavior, to direct metabolic metabolism, to protect neuronal tissue, to reduce the inflammatory chaos, and to support genetic expression. See, this isn't supplementation, this is biological governance. And now you can see the architecture. The multis provide the machinery, the greens provide the instruction, and DK prime provides the organized command signal. This is not random. This is designed. Most people think that the condition or disease that they're suffering from is the problem. I think it's loss of regulation. When your body loses its ability to regulate your immune function, your inflammatory responses, your mineral balance, your hormones, your genetic expression, then breakdown becomes inevitable. DK Prime isn't here to fix a disease. It's designed to prevent biological chaos. When systems don't have governance, they tend to collapse. DK Prime isn't optional. It's not trendy. It's not a hack. It's biological command. And command is what keeps complex systems working. So, at the very minimum, always try to make sure that you and your loved ones are never without the essential daily core 4.
Thank you for tuning into today's video. If you learned something new today, click that like button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that way you're up to date on all things neuropower.